Hello one, hello all, it is the gothiest ghost of them all, Caspa in the flesh, and it's time for a review of NBA Youngboy-Richest. NBA Youngboy is a Louisiana rapper, and this is his latest mixtape. That's right, we're doing a mixtape. We do mixtapes over here. We do mixtapes. And I gotta be honest, never been a huge fan of Youngboy. But I'll tell you why. I feel like he does have conviction on the mic. Sure, he could come up with a catchy hook. Sure. And sometimes there are some good production choices, but most of the time the production is just so bland and so vanilla by trap and drill standards, it just kind of leaves me like just wanting to listen to something else. And I know that's a tough take. I know. But NBA Youngboy is definitely probably one of the most polarizing artists in the game right now, because he's either immensely hated or immensely loved. And I just find myself in between because, as I said before, I do think like his vocal cadence has come like a long way. I do feel like in terms of what he's rapping about, there is versatility there. But you pretty much reach the point where even though he could be rapping his brains out, maybe there's a like clever bar here, you're starting to get deja vu and realize that you're basically sonically hearing the same song again and again and again. And also there are bars on here that do come off silly, and I know that's not what he's going for. Like on the song I Got That Shit. Like when you're basically just like trying to go aggressive on the mic and you say, I got that shit in my pants, it's kind of hard for me to take you serious. And then say, I put that shit on my gang, and I'm like, okay, like I know he's not talking about actual shit, but it's just an odd pairing of words when you're trying to make a defiant statement, in my opinion. But the opener, he is snapping on here. I love the slick piano keys, the booming bass, the horns, crisp hi-hats, the tingly wahs. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of Lil Wayne in like his early Carter days, before Carter 2, before Carter 3. It's definitely a standout moment here. Like you definitely hear like the hunger. And the vocal variations and anger he unleashes on here is intense. Like he is out for blood mostly on this album. And you can definitely hear it. And also I love like the tongue rolls he does to pronounce 30. 30 days. And his vocals just are like so unhinged they become unintelligible at some points. However, I do feel there are moments here on this album where he tries to go like the R&B route, and it just doesn't sound good. Like, it's like he's trying to be emotive here, but it's hard for me to buy into it, number one, because he's rolling with like the nice guy narrative on I Shot Qupid, where he's basically saying like, oh, I know it's not me. I'm like, things are going wrong in this relationship, but I know it's not me. When it's just really corny. Because based on how shallow he could be, that's pretty much shown here. Yeah, it's probably you. But aside from that, I feel like this is just kind of like R&B filler, R&B pandering. Like, well, made that hard shit, so we gotta make some shit for the women. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it should have. I have nothing wrong with going a more romantic route, being a little bit vulnerable, because hey, Conway did it on God Don't Make Mistakes, and I loved it. However, I feel like NBA doesn't have the prowess or the versatile tangibility to go that route. And also, too, the production just sounds so made for YouTube type beat. It's like if you went on YouTube and like, oh, let me get a R&B type beat. Oh, okay, there we go. Now let's get in the booth. But yeah, but there are highlights on here. Don't get me wrong. I think Free Meechy definitely has like the perfect balance of like aggressive and melodic. Doing vocal gymnastics on here with some really slick bars, catchy melodies. And that's one thing too. Like he does have catchy melodies on here, and some clever lines like "Shorty bad, shorty insane, shorty just won't give me brain." Like I feel like that was a clever bar. The song "Father" shows NBA asking for repentance for his life of crime and saying how like he has his back against the wall, and the hook is definitely sticky here. Like he's been leading, the life and definitely having like some type of self-awareness here, which I appreciate. And also I love like the booming bass, the glistening synths, the defiant strings. Like it really brings that. Now fuck the industry part too. Definitely NBA Youngboy definitely has a bone to pick here, and he just sounds like a complete savage on this track. And like there's like points where it sounds like he's rapping from his teeth. At some points he's just like airing out his grievances while delivering like another melodic hook that hits. And he's again finding the balance between aggressive and melodic. And there's this one line, trigger warning, where he does drop the F slur, which I pretty much don't really take offense to, but others could take offense. If they do take offense to it, then I sympathize for them. But yeah, I just wanted to just put that out there because this review is for you, for the viewer. So if you are to watch this, just know that line is in there. And he definitely sounds like more sinister here than ever. This is probably the most sinister he sounds on this whole album. Unfortunately, though, the momentum does die down. The production does get bland, as I explained to you earlier. And some are mixed poorly, like the vocals, like where he sounds like on top of the production and opposed to actually rapping to it. It's like someone just maximized him and just let him walk on the beat, like the song "Where My Slimes Go Where I Go." And there's another part too where some of the tracks just meander a little bit. And like I said, you definitely get deja vu when it comes to the production. Like it pretty much sounds like he's trying to relive the first track again and again and again to a point where it just gets stale. The closer, "I Want His Soul," like he's rapping with a lot of ferocity here, but the production just, again, sounds like what we've heard before. And there are bits on here where he is going melodic, but there are times where it just sounds kind of nasally and annoying. But aside from that, I do feel like NBA is improving. I do feel like if he keeps versatility within the production, I think if he keeps that fire in his belly and he improves on his more romantic style tracks, then I think he can put out a great album. But unfortunately for me, I just feel like this album just really paints itself into a corner really fast. Or if it does have a little streak going, it just goes back into just blandness. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. Overall, I'm feeling a 2.5 out of 5 stars on this. Find myself on the fence with it, not loving it, not exactly hating it either, and I do think he's overhated. I do think he's overhated, and I do feel like people don't really see the potential here, but I do. I do see the potential. And I understand that people, hate him for other reasons besides the music, and if you do, that's on you. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling. If you've given this a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? And let me know in the comments what you thought. That's it. NBA Youngboy, Richest Op, Caspa the Gothic Ghost. Till we meet again.